How's it going, everybody? Bearded Hikes here out in Lake County at Lake Norris Conservation Area. One of the few places that's still left open during the COVID-19 pandemic. There's an old homestead out here, abandoned. It's been there for quite some time. It's down this kind of a dirt road that has some tire marks in it. It looks like it's often used as a service road, probably by the county or maintenance, people taking care of the lake and the area here. We're gonna go ahead and just keep following this down until we hit some points of interest. Right behind me here we have some very healthy prickly pear cactus. Check it out. Prickly pear cactus here, blooming, real happy. All sorts of buds all over it, expecting new flowers. This one here next to it, same story. This is thistle flower. This is a native pink. It's considered a weed, but you can see it has some real heavy stalks on the stem here. They kind of jet up to this amazing pink flower. Kind of grows naturally here along the trail side. Coming to this gate here. Cattle in pasture. Keep gate closed. This looks like we have an old cattle pasture here. I'm not sure how old this is. Evidently it hasn't been used for quite some time. Very small pasture. This was likely a family-owned pasture with just a few cattle in here. Now something in me tells me to go ahead and walk that way, but there's a giant spider web or two hanging directly in the middle, so I'm just going to observe from a distance. But just looking at some of this stuff, it's very interesting to see the construction. I have this very cool tree here. It looks like it was either caught on fire or got hit by lightning. Unfortunately, we have trash here. I'm going to take this with me. I always try to leave places cleaner than I found them. Check this out, laying against the fence. And right here, have some old metal. This just looks like a rod coming out here. Ends right there. What originally caught my eye was this piece of metal. There does seem to be an opening right here. There's no spider webs blocking the way, so we're going to take this on inside. So you can almost imagine when there might have been sheep or just, you know, cows, maybe donkeys or whatever. Looks like a lot of people have used this to access this side, and I don't want to contribute to any of that damage, so we'll kind of peer over the fence here. There's a gate right here. I imagine being back here on a Sunday morning on the farm, and this is your soundtrack. This rod that goes along the fence here kind of explains what the rod was on the ground earlier. This is the same exact one. That was really cool to see that old cattle pasture. I wish I knew a little more history about it, but I'm sure if I did a little digging online, I might just find some more. But until then, we're gonna keep on going to our next point of interest, whatever that may be. So stay tuned, I'm going to take you there. So far, very, very interesting hike out here. I haven't seen one person. It would appear that I'm out here all alone. So we've walked this way probably about 15 to 20 minutes or so, and we passed the cattle enclosure, and we're coming down this way, and I have noticed that we're walking along the side of a creek here. I'm assuming is Blackwater Creek. Have a bridge here that just kind of scoots over the water. Now I could tell you from the construction of this bridge, this has been here quite a long time. Has likely been reconstructed various times throughout the years. This is a vehicle rated bridge. That's why we have horizontal trusses and then vertical. The tires stay on this part and it bears the weight of the vehicle on the bridge. Now alternatively, what a beautiful view just off of this bridge here. I'm going to shut up so you can listen to nature. We're just going to keep on walking over this bridge here, heading towards the Homestead site. Hiking this section here of trail, I can't help but notice that there's almost like a old paved road, which solidifies that at one point there was somebody living back here. Today it's all torn up and you can see rough around the edges, but when you're walking sugar sand, it sure makes for a pleasant change of terrain, so I'll take that. Check out some of these prickly pear cactuses. I can't believe the amount of them out here. It's like a little prickly pear cactus garden. I sort of really like the flowers on them. I think they're very unique looking flowers, especially when you find a horde of them like this. Just awesome. Well, I've been walking out here for about 45 minutes to an hour, and after a little bit of a trek, I am coming up on some structures. So I'm gonna make my way closer to them and we'll pick it up from there. The sign here says, caution, Blackwater Creek not passable south of Lake Norris Road Bridge. And all these canoes have locks on them, and the locks look pretty new. And as you can see, it is taken care of by the Lake County Water Authority. So that is confirmation that these are not necessarily abandoned. However, very cool to just find them out here. Hey, look at that. I believe we found our old homestead, folks. Looks to be a big chimney stack. Let's see if we can get in closer. It is dead silent out here. You can hear your heartbeat in your ears. Looks like a whole foundation attached to a chimney. How cool is that, huh? You can see right here, got some holes for plumbing, pipes, stuff like that. I gotta say, folks, I've been doing this now for probably 2 to 3 months, and this is probably the coolest thing I've found so far. A whole chimney. Somewhat ornate wire work here on the screen for the fireplace. and looks like these are the back sides of the tiles that are currently all over the fireplace. So I assume that there's probably a lot more of these, and over time they've been weathered off, or people with nefarious thoughts have come and taken a few. Regardless, can't say I've ever found an entire foundation with a chimney attached to it while exploring, so I'm gonna call this one a win. Really, really, really cool to imagine living out here, you know, in a time where there was nobody living out here, and this could have been one of the only families in the area. It's hard not to stand here and just kind of think about it. Who lived here and how long and what they thought about the place, and mainly, maybe it's just the spiritual me coming out, but I always hope that person had a good life. All right, we're going to continue along, see what else there is to see out here. Wow, just the breeze coming off the water sure feels refreshing. That sure is amazing. Come down here to this little area, little canoe launch. Doesn't look like anybody's been here for quite some time. Look at that view. My God. Just amazing, undisturbed, real Florida, as it should be. That was so cool seeing that view and nobody there. It was just awesome. On a hot hike like this, I was sure welcomed. We're gonna head back up this hill and check out the rest of the homestead. Here's like an old warehouse or something that looks like a warehouse. This looks like it was at one point something else, and it has been since converted into like a camping shelter. Let's see what the sign says here. Permits are required for primitive camping and canoe rentals. So now we know you can rent a canoe or you can camp. Now, the reason I say I think this was another structure is because there's this weird cutout here where it looks like something else probably would have been kept. So, again, I think this was an old structure, probably at some point or another, maybe used for storage, or who knows, it could have been, you know, a place that somebody kept their tractors or cattle equipment. Lots of different things that we could think about, and that's kind of the beauty of the hike. So I always give these camping structures a second look, because you got to remember the county is working on a small budget, and if there's already a structure here that will work and it just takes a few new nails and some boards of wood, they will turn that into a camping structure rather than destroy history to put one up. So really appreciate that. It looks cool. Over here we have a primitive camping site with a fire pit, 4 benches, and it looks like somebody has taken their time to fashion a throne here out of this log. That's really cool, man. Whoever did that, I like that. That's cool. There's the campsite, very primitive. Somebody's even left some logs here, maybe for cutting or whatever you might need it for. Well, I'm headed back to the car because as you can see, there's some storm clouds rolling in. And I'll tell you what, I don't think I've ever seen happier cows, happier to see somebody. Maybe they're just really missing people. I'm gonna go pay them a visit. You guys are so cute. You guys miss people? How are you guys? Oh, you guys are so adorable. It's okay. It's okay. I'm keeping my distance. We don't know each other yet. Cows are cool. You know, they're like big dogs. I always say they're like big dogs, just really curious and friendly. Where one goes, the rest follow. Hi. You guys want a picture? I'll take one. All right, we're gonna take a picture here. All right, we're back. We took a little group picture here. All right, guys. It was nice to see you. Tell everybody, follow Bearded Hikes on YouTube. Oh man, I love animals. All right, guys, have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye. I don't have food, I'm sorry. You see the mess I get into when I'm out here? Well guys, it was really exciting seeing that old foundation with the chimney. You know, I've gone through plenty of different sections of woods in Florida and I find bricks and all sorts of cool stuff, but even a flipped over car once. But I've never found a foundation with a chimney still attached to it. That's the closest thing I personally have ever found to a still standing structure besides that camp that we saw there. That was really cool, and I hope that some of you got a little sense of adventure out of this video today in a time where we all really need it. I hope that if you needed a little dose of adventure and a little dose of nature and exploration in Florida history, that I was able to provide that for you today. As always, I really appreciate all your support. I've had so many people reach out to me, tell me that they appreciate what I'm doing. It is very cool. I thank you so much for all your love and support. It is because of you that I do this. I don't do it for me. I don't get my own joy out of going into the woods and finding things for me. I find them to show you what still exists out here. So thanks again. Thanks for joining me. And I hope to see you on the next hike. Peace.